Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about the process. This will have less to do with my story and more to do with diving in depth about what the process is, what it means, and how to apply it more in your life. So the process is a system in which you must develop a higher purpose, a higher why. In regards to sales, I believe that this job is a vehicle for being able to become your best self, because you're placed in positions every single day where you have to make choices, you have to choose. And so having a higher why is of the utmost importance when it comes to developing your process. If you don't have a why, then it's not going to work. And I'm not talking about making 6 figures in a summer. That's a shallow why. And I mean, you can sell 300, 400, 500 accounts doing that, but when it comes to why a 1,000 account rep acts the way that he does, it's because of who he identifies himself as. It's because of who he is. It's not because of how much money he wants to make. So this is a process, or the process is a system in which you use to become your best self. So when I have the other people watching this, after it's done being recorded, I want you to pause the recording and think to yourself. Think about the idealized version of yourself, the best version of yourself in your brain. The person that you've always envisioned yourself being, the person that you want to be, the person that you aspire to be. Pause the video and think about that. Think about it in your head, and I want you to think a few different things. One, I want you to think about who would you be? What kind of person would you be? What would you change to become that person? And then how would you do it? How would that person act? How would that person act? How would they envision themselves in their brain? When it comes to the process, it must begin inside. It can't start from the outside based on results. It has to be an identity change. You have to slowly but surely start making adjustments in your life to align yourself with that person that you want to be. The reason why I love this job is because this job, for me, it's not about the number of sales in a day I get. This job can be used as a vehicle to become that person, because you're faced with decisions where you have to choose. You have to choose if you want to be the same person or become that best version of yourself. And the cool thing is that because of the process, we're in charge. We get to choose. And when you think about it that way, it's not based solely, your success is not based on the number of sales you get. And it's really liberating because you're in control. It's about you versus you. And we're in control because we get to decide. We get to decide if outward circumstances will stop us from giving 100% effort and from becoming that best version of ourselves. It's not about the sales, it's about the amount of effort that you put in to that day, essentially. I heard a saying once, I think I saw it on Facebook, about how there's 2 wolves inside of us. One of them is the worst version of ourselves, the other one is the best version of ourselves. And the one that wins, that fight between them, is the one that you feed. For me, that's why it's so important to have a morning routine. Because by the time I even begin knocking, I've already won so many times. I've already fed that best version of myself, that wolf, so many times that he's hungry for more, and the worst version of myself is starving. And so I'm feeding the best version of myself. I'm adding up wins, and those little small decisions are helping me become the best version of myself. And throughout the day, you have to ask yourself, when it comes to little decisions like, am I going to sit in the car and listen to the last song on the radio, or am I just going to open the door and go? Little tiny decisions like that are what makes a difference. It's not about the sales, it's not about the weather. Top reps who sell over 1,000 accounts act the way that they do because of who they believe themselves to be. And they align their actions with those beliefs. And as you do that, repeatedly over and over and over again, slowly but surely you will become that person. You'll become the best version of yourself. And this job is perfect because it can be that vehicle a springboard essentially to becoming that best version of yourself. I guess that's it.